Among the world's most modern motorsports facilities, Kansas Speedway opened for business in 2001, some 15 miles west of Kansas City, Kansas, under the ownership of the International Speedway Corporation. Originally consisting of a 1.5-mile tri-oval with uniform 15-degree banking, the facility underwent a major revamp in 2012 that resulted in progressive banking of the oval at 17 to 20 degrees, along with the addition of a 6-turn road course incorporating a twisty infield section and all but a few hundred feet of the oval. The facility has permanent seating for 72,000 spectators, along with a hotel and casino featuring more than 100,000 square feet of gaming space. Kansas Speedway has hosted a variety of motorsports events over the years, including all 3 NASCAR Premier Series, ARCA, the Indy Cars, and the Grand Am Sports Car Series, which utilizes the road course. Tonight, it's race number 5 in the ProSim Racing Alliance, and it's next on Track Limits Network. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Kansas Speedway for Race 5. The ProSim Racing Alliance practice just about wrapped up here at the Speedway. A few minutes left in the session. Let's get into the race details tonight. 100 laps the race distance. Track temperature at 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Drivers with a full fuel load at 100%. Unlimited tires available over the wall for the changing. Drivers working with a 1 fast repair tonight and 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish if it comes down to it. Hopefully we don't need to worry about that, but they're there if we need them. With that said, let's go down trackside here to see where everyone's lining out as far as fast times in practice. Fast drivers so far, it's the 33 of Will Hewitt, a 30.489 the lap time for the 33. Then old DW, Derek Welch, second quick. Whitmore, Jones, and Wagoner the top 5. Just about a minute and a half, a little less than a minute and a half remain in this session. We'll jump right into qualifying immediately following a 5-minute session, 2 laps, whatever comes first. Initially a 25 truck field here tonight. 1 driver, it appears, Cole Dansley, was intending on racing on a part-time basis. Unable to make it this evening, so it looks like 24 trucks to take the green this evening. Bobby Hamilton Jr. in familiar Tide colors. Number 25 F-150. Bobby 7th quick on the timing sheet. Will Jones in the number 46, back behind the wheel of his race machine. And that's it. Clock strikes 0 on the session. Black and red flags drop. Closes out with Will Hewitt fastest, 30.489, the top time in this session. We'll see if they can match that in qualifying. I don't expect it to necessarily be matched with a little bit of draft coming into play with these trucks, but we'll find out soon enough. Looks like Bobby Jr. is going to be the first to roll out of pit lane, it appears. At least he's sitting there, ready to go. Bobby's getting the engine temperature nice and warm in the cockpit of that machine. You hear the RPMs just sky high. He's got it pinned at about 5,900 RPM here. He's got a technique here, I'm sure. He still sits in pit lane, though, so we'll jump out to some on-track activity. Alan DeFries out on the Speedway on his out lap. Alan out of Silvis, Illinois. HLC Motorsports entry. Top time so far, it's Will Jones, a 30.948. That was his first lap. DeFries across the stripe, finish up his first lap. DeFries locks in second quick, a 31.035. Will Jones trying to improve on that fast time, a 9.48 as we said. See if he can pick it up. It's awfully close to the fast time in practice as Nicholson goes top. Wagoner goes top. Will Jones across the stripe. Does he have enough to knock him back off the top spot? And he does, 30.613, fastest in the session thus far. Vincent Short wraps up his run. He is second quick at this point. Eddie Rose in the Track Bar Media Chevrolet, 31.505, ninth quick first lap. Eddie crosses the line, goes from 12th to 9th, 30.928, the lap time for the 88 of Eddie Rose. Will Hewitt, 33, remember fastest in the practice session. We'll see if he can improve upon that time here in qualifying. Thirteenth quick for Hewitt, first lap, 31.009. While Derek Welch jumps up to the outside front row with a 6.24, missed it by about a tenth. Oh, hits the bottom. Will Hewitt upsets the truck a little bit. Slips up the track, keeps his foot in it, though. See if he gets an improvement here. If that really cost him that much, might have hurt his efforts at the pole, and it does. Ninth quick, 30.750, and David Bradford goes to the point. 30.611 on his second lap, the 13, top of the board. Mark Truxell in the Little Tate's Cupcakes, number 5. 31.080 his first lap out of 4. Keeps it pinned low to the racetrack. Down the apron here, start finish. Crosses the line, finishes up lap number 2. Where does it land him? 8th quick, top 10 starting position for now for the 5 of Mark Truxell. Josh Ingram, 20th quick his first lap. Ingram back to start finish. The Stinger Motorsports 56 finishes it up. 10th quick, 30.732. Albert Anderson in the Track Limits Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. 31.006. Anderson very high and wide out of turn number 2. Fifth quick for Albert Anderson, 30.655, a good run for the 99. A couple of drivers haven't taken the time as the session completes here. It was Chris Hockley and Steve Whitmore. Again, Colt Ansley unable to attend this evening. Showed up to run and then had something come up, so Colt will not take the green tonight. That'll wrap up qualifying here from Kansas Speedway. Let's jump over and take a look at our starting grid. On the pole position with a lap time of 30.611 seconds, it's the 13 of David Bradford. Outside front row belongs to the 46 of Will Jones, also from Bradford Aeroworks. Look at that differential, 1/1000th of a second, the difference from second to the pole. Row number 2, it's Derek Welch and Vincent Short. Row 3 will be Albert Anderson and Chris Klein. Row 4 belongs to Peyton Wagoner and Alan DeFries. In the 5th row, it's Mark Truxell and Mark Collins. Starting 11th belongs to the 02 from Hewitt Motorsports, Thomas McMullen. To his outside, the 56 of Josh Ingram. Starting in the 13th spot, it's the 4 of Jacob Moore. His outside will be the 25, Bobby Hamilton Jr. 15th starter is Will Hewitt. Keenan Kimber will start 16th. 17th belongs to A.J. Rogers. Aaron Longworth, 18th. 19th starter is Matt Nicholson. 20th belongs to the 88 of Eddie Rose. 21st, Frank Griffith. Jason Steptoe, 22nd. Chris Hockley will be 23rd. Steve Whitmore, 24th. And it does show Colt Ansley, but he will not take the green flag tonight. It's your starting grid here from Kansas Speedway. We're going to take one pace lap here before we set the green flag in front of these folks. Get this race underway. Again, race details tonight. 100 laps the race distance, a 78-degree track temperature, full fuel on board at 100%, unlimited tire sets available over the wall, one fast repair if so necessary, and 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish if it comes down to it. Pace car hits pit lane. We're ready to go racing here from Kansas Speedway. Bradford and Jones on the front row. Barney with the green in hand. There's the call, and we're racing from Kansas Speedway. Gets the early jump, leads the field into turns 3 and 4, but Will Jones going to the top side here, building a run out of turn number 4. Might challenge for the lead here, coming to the stripe. In fact, may have it. It's awful close, but no, Bradford's going to lead him back. Takes the short way around, bottom of the racetrack. Now they're side by side for the top spot as Derek Welch tucks in behind Bradford. Out of turn number 2, Welch stuck in the 3rd spot with the 99 of Anderson closing the gap, taking a peek to the inside. Alan DeFries running in 5th in behind. Meanwhile, Bradford slips to the 2nd spot. Will Jones, your new race leader, out of turn number 4. Couple of drivers with some handling issues out of turn number 2 the last couple of laps. We've seen 2 trucks step out just a bit. Fuel window tonight with that full load on board is between 39 and 43 laps. Again, a 100-lap race distance here tonight. Jones continues to lead. Bradford now pressure from the 99 of Albert Anderson. Anderson taking a peek to the inside. More than a peek, gets alongside, takes the spot. Anderson slide job right up in front. Bradford crosses him over and takes the spot back. So now Anderson to the outside of the 13. Albert's going to drop back to the inside again and try it another time here inside turns 3 and 4. 99 gets down to the bottom, slides up the track, a little bit more clearance, but stays low. Doesn't allow for the crossover this time. It's going to force Bradford to the outside. Keep Anderson down low as they head down into turn number 1. This all happening behind the race leader, Will Jones. Will Hewitt, little moment out of turn 2. Meanwhile, the battle continues here for the second spot between David Bradford and Albert Anderson. It's allowed the 8 of Peyton Wagoner to close up into the tailgate of the 99. To come back to start finish, Anderson evasive action to avoid contact there, coming to the stripe alongside Bradford again. These guys can't keep this up for too long. Someone's going to have to give in. Bradford trying to take care of his equipment and tires at this point, decides to let the 99 go. Big wiggle for DeFries out of turn number 2 as he runs in behind Derek Welch. Bradford all over the back bumper of Anderson still, but he's got Peyton Wagoner to his inside with Vincent Short closing as well in the 15. Up the racetrack, Wagoner closes the door. A little bit of contact from Bradford. David took exception to that one. Now looks to the outside. Out of the dogleg here, down into turn number 1. This now the battle for third. Bradford's got the 4th spot. Bradford might have scraped the right rear in the fence out of 2. Keeps his foot in it. On board with the 8 of Peyton Wagoner as he's trying to take the spot from Bradford, but now he may lose not only that, but also another here as Vincent Short gets around. Short up to the 4th spot. Wagoner's going to sit in the 5th position for the time being. Meanwhile, while this is all going on behind the 46 of Jones, he is starting to check out with over a 3/4 second advantage over second place running Albert Anderson. Oh, Will Jones might have pancaked the right side of his truck out of turn number 2 on exit. Deficit from first to second shrinks by about a 1/10 there, but Jones seems to be okay. Meanwhile, Anderson's going to have his hands full. In fact, he does already as Bradford back up into the 3rd spot, looking to take that position back. Vince Short working the very high line in contact as Alan DeFries goes around. DeFries noses into the inside safer barrier out of turn 2, middle of the backstretch now. There was certainly contact involved there. No caution to this point. Let's go take a look what just happened. The 51, just high exit out of turn 2. Didn't have the room. He was not clear of the 71. Just gets into the left rear and sends Alan DeFries for a ride. So meanwhile, Will Jones maintains his top position here, 8.5 tenths ahead of David Bradford, who is quickly taking that 2nd spot away from Albert Anderson and starting to check out here. It's about 6 or 8 truck lengths back to 3rd place. The 99 of Albert Anderson had pace to compete in the early running here in the first handful of laps, but now as the truck starts to wear the tires out, tire pressures come up. David Bradford starting to like the handling of his number 13 machine as he's back up into the 2nd spot and cutting into that race lead of Will Jones. Derek Welch alongside Vincent Short out of turn 4. Short's going to battle back with a bit of momentum. Continues. Welch and Short side by side. These two have done battle quite a bit over the years here at iRacing. Takes over the spot from Short, now attacks Peyton Wagoner. Wagoner in the 8 Pepsi machine up the racetrack. Welch in that black and green Davidson Miller's machine still down low. Now gets clear of the 8 and putting pressure on Albert Anderson. Meanwhile, we watch these battles throughout the pack here. Let's check on the race lead here. Will Jones has it still for now, but Bradford is catching him in quickly. It was 3/10. Now it's under 3/10. Just now a few truck lengths between the 46 and the 13. Don't expect to see a ton of aggression out of these top two. They are teammates, but they are both very accomplished drivers in their own rights. If the opportunity presents to make a move on the other, they're going to get it done, but I don't think they're going to rough each other up too much. Also considering we do have a stage break coming up here at lap 30. Competition caution for all drivers. Lets everybody get resettled, reset. Meanwhile, behind the top two, Welch and Anderson now battling for the third position. Welch alongside the 99 down the back straightaway. Anderson drives it in there deeper, a little bit more than the one of Welch. Closes the door, half a truck length really between these two as they exit turn number 4. Welch going to the whip again, drops down below the 99. Albert Anderson going to continue to run the top side here. Likes to favor that lane for now, at least. He'll have the momentum down the back straightaway, allows him to get clear of the 1. Welch tucks back in behind in the middle of 3 and 4. Still just about 6-8 feet at most between these two as they're back around out of turn number 4 yet again. Meanwhile, out in front, the battle for the lead is shaped up here quite a bit, and Bradford just gets by the 46 of Will Jones. 21 laps in the books. We said it was going to happen. We'll see if we can get a look exactly how that one transpired. Just a moment ago here, the pass for the race lead. We'll go full speed here to watch it. Oh, Will Jones got up in the fence, scraped the right side in the safer barrier. And out of turn number 2, Bradford was able to get alongside and take the top spot away. Meanwhile, in behind the top 2 as they've exchanged positions. Third place now solely belonging to the 1 of Derek Welch. Peyton Wagoner runs 4th. Thomas McMullen now cracking the top 5 as he's gotten clear of Albert Anderson. Anderson continuing his free fall now into the 6th spot, trying to salvage another position. Gets to the inside of McMullen in 3. Laps continuing to click off. Bradford now stretches his lead to just over half a second over Will Jones. Will Jones, of course, in that 2nd spot. Then it's DW, Derek Welch, Peyton Wagoner 4th, Thomas McMullen in 5th, and Albert Anderson, Keenan Kimber, Vincent Short, Mark Truxell, and Bobby Hamilton Jr. back in the 10th position. Just under 5 laps away from our planned competition caution. We at lap 30. Peyton Wagoner running in that fourth spot now. Thomas McMullen closing in, trying to do something to take that position away. Still a couple of truck lengths between the two. Wagoner, of course, using the top side. McMullen switching it up, going to the bottom to try and keep some clean air on the nose of his Chevrolet. Another battle for position starting to shape up here. This for the 8th spot, Mark Truxell and Vincent Short. Short in the black and blue, number 15. Truxell in the 5. They work out of turn number 2. Truxell running in behind Keenan Kimber. Back to the Wagoner-McMullen battle. Wagoner still on that top lane. A little loose out of turn 2. Slows him up just a bit. Almost thought we were going to see some contact there between McMullen and the 8. Wasn't meant to be, though. But Thomas back to the bottom of the racetrack in 3 and 4. Gets a nose alongside, but out of 4, I think Wagoner's going to have the run, and he does. Slams the door on the 0-2 as they come back to the stripe. McMullen now further along the 8 than he has been in the last handful of laps, and he drives away. A few truck lengths now as he gets out of 4 here, back to start finish. McMullen up into the 4th spot. Bradford still leads over Will Jones. It's almost a full second, and another battle further in behind Truxell and Keenan Kimber as Truxell looks to the inside of the 65 Busch Light Peach entry. Bradford still with the lead here, just kind of cruising along here. He'll cross the start-finish line here. Lap 30 will go up on the board. We should get our comp caution here in just a moment. May not get the actual yellow until the completion of lap 30 as Welch actually jumps up into the 2nd spot, takes that from Will Jones. So move DW into the 2nd spot here as the first stage comes to a close. Bradford back across the line. And we stay green. Oh, there it is.
You can look at your temps to make sure everything looks okay.
So competition caution here at lap 31 now as it's gone up on the board. Top 10 finishers: Bradford, Welch, Jones, McMullen, Wagoner. Looks like Anderson, Truxell, Short, Kimber, and Bobby Hamilton Jr. your top 10 at the comp caution. Seasons past, there were points awarded if you led at this point. I'm not sure if that's still the case. So first opportunity for these drivers to make a visit to pit lane here. Will they come down? I'm assuming so. Right at the end of the fuel window here, we said about 39 to 43 laps. They've gone about 30, 31, plus a couple of caution laps, so it's time. Expect everybody's going to come on down here unless someone wants to gamble to lead a lap, but I don't see that happening. A couple of drivers do stay out, but I think they are a lap down or more. So we'll watch David Bradford lead Derek Welch, Will Jones, and the rest of the field down as Bradford into number 1 pit stall. 4 tires and fuel for David Bradford. Drops the jack, heads back out. He'll be the first one to exit pit lane. It's Derek Welch and Will Jones. Looking at pit times here, it appears everybody up and down pit lane opted for, obviously, fuel. That was a must, but no strategy as far as tires are concerned. 4 tires and fuel for everybody up and down pit road. Lineup when we go back to green will be Bradford, Welch, Jones, Thomas McMullen, Albert Anderson, Short, Truxell, Hamilton Jr., Hewitt, and Hockley. That'll be the top 10. So get ready to go back. Green flag racing. 11th is Rogers, Wagoner, Collins, Griffith, and Longworth down to 15th. 16th, Jason Steptoe, Matt Nicholson, Eddie Rose, Josh Ingram, and Chris Klein, your top 20. Then Keenan Kimber, Steve Whitmore, Jacob Moore, and Alan DeFries. Those of you watching tonight's race and not the game in Buffalo, 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Bills up 27, Baltimore 19. Field doubled up, ready to go back to the green flag here. Pace car hits pit road. Front row, Bradford and Welch. Bradford on the gas. Green flag in the air. Everybody clean through turn number 2 as they barrel down into 3 and 4. Bradford with the lead. Now Will Jones jumping to the outside of Derek Welch will take the second spot back. Remember, the early stages of this race here, Will Jones was lightning in a bottle. Bradford was a little uneasy on the setup. Took about 10-15 laps for the 13 to really come into his own. He did it quickly and was able to drive up to the 46 and then eventually take the top spot away, but not without a mistake from Will Jones. I don't know if Bradford would have been able to make that pass or not. We're not going to get a chance to see that, at least not yet. Plenty of racing to go, but Bradford maintains the race lead. Will Jones about 5 truck lengths in the rears. He's got Derek Welch a couple behind him. And Jones still 1 and 2. Welch runs third. Thomas McMullen having a strong run here as he's continuing to march towards the front. Applying pressure to the 1. Albert Anderson now to the outside of McMullen. So Thomas has got his hands full trying to decide, do I attack, do I defend? Maybe a little bit of both. Meanwhile, Anderson's got Mark Truxell on the back bumper. He's going to worry about the 5 now. Bradford still leads. Jones not really reeling in, David, at this point. I think this just might be a matter of who wants to take care of the tires the longest. Guys running 1 and 2 right now are notoriously good at doing just that. Save them for when you really need them. Got to go easy the first 10, 15 laps. That might have been what we saw at the early stages with David Bradford just kind of taking care of his stuff until it was time to work his way back forward. The car felt good. Welch now in third, still trying to hang off Thomas McMullen. There might have been just a touch of contact between the 1 and the 0-2 as McMullen gets to the inside. Looking for that spot. Third position, Thomas McMullen's got it, and I think Welch is going to tuck in behind here out of turn number 2. Albert Anderson there in the mix. Close quarters out of turn number 2. Mark Truxell is there. Bobby Jr. is there. Will Hewitt and the like. Lots of action here from the top 5 on back. Albert Anderson working on the back bumper of Derek Welch. Welch now battling with Albert Anderson still, the 99 up the racetrack. Truxell sticks in the tire tracks of the 99. They're going to be a big run here for Anderson. Welch comes up the track, but not enough room to get clear. Just checking on the stream chat. We've got Wolverines 50 doing the dab. We got Nikki Short jumping in. I haven't heard from Nikki in a while. She says, Josh Allen for MVP. Also, go Short. Cheering on Vincent Short in the 15. McMullen in the third position, now starting to reel in Will Jones. Truck length and a half between the 46 and the 02, but it looks like Jones starting to come back to the 13 machine as well. Almost at the 46. Bradford used to run that 46 in seasons past. Derek Welch playing peekaboo behind Truxell and Anderson here, trying to find a way around. Just got to wonder if the 1 is pushed a little too hard too early. Vincent Short back in the 13th position, battling with Keenan Kimber. Kimber in the 65, the Busch Light Peach, and then behind them it's the 50 adjacent Steptoe. Still a side-by-side battle here with Short and Kimber. Still no change at the front of the field. Bradford still leads about a 4/10 of a second advantage over Will Jones. Thomas McMullen still third. Anderson fourth. Truxell up into the 5th spot. Mark having a strong run here tonight at Kansas. Meanwhile, it is official from Buffalo. The Bills have won 27-25 over the Baltimore Ravens. They will move on to play the Kansas City Chiefs. A few laps shy of halfway. Bradford still leads, and Vincent Short finally finishes up his fight with the 65 of Keenan Kimber. So Short hangs on to the 13th position. Other battles throughout the field here. This is Chris Klein and Steve Whitmore, 15th and 16th. Whitmore in the number 70. Peyton Wagoner battling now with the 4, but the 4 is a lap down machine. That's Jacob B. Moore. So 50 laps complete here from Kansas Speedway. Wagoner up the racetrack, scrapes the right rear on the fence, still trying to stick around the right side of the 4. It's a lap truck. Don't push too hard. Mark Collins there. That's a lead lap truck, though. That would be 4th position. That's the blue and black number 23. Well, here comes the 55 of Matt Nicholson as well. He's part of this mix. Doesn't matter if you're in the front or the back here. They're racing hard all the way through this pack. This for about the 20th position as we watch the 55 of Nicholson. And he rose just in behind 21st. A couple of spots forward here. Peyton Wagoner and the 23 of Collins. They're side by side for position. This would be for 18th. Almost some contact there coming to start finish. A little bit of side draft attempted there for Collins, almost getting into the 8. With that, though, we are just past halfway. We're going to take a quick break, step aside here. It's going to be a side-by-side break, so don't go anywhere. You won't miss a minute of the action. We'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Kansas Speedway, the battle for the race lead upcoming. David Bradford still out in front, but the deficit is shrinking back to the 02 of Thomas McMullen, not the 46 of Will Jones. Thomas has been on fire a lot of this evening here. Started back in the 11th position, but quietly working his way towards the front and now within striking distance of the race lead. Just a few truck lengths behind the 13 of David Bradford, 41 laps to go. Just like that, Bradford up the racetrack. Thomas working the low side still and closes considerably out of turn number 2. Ken Thomas to the bottom, Bradford up top. Mullen running right on that white line in the middle of 3 and 4. Coming back to start finish, 40 laps remain. It's a truck length between the 13 and the 02. This battle for the race lead starts to heat up. There's a battle for third between Will Jones and Derek Welch. Welch to the bottom of the racetrack. Remember, last pit stops occurred at about lap 32. We anticipated a 43-lap maximum on a load of fuel, so we're getting close, maybe 10, 15 laps before we start to see drivers head down pit lane here for pit stops under the green flag. It remains to be seen. We haven't had any cautions this afternoon for cause, just our competition caution. Still watching this fight for the third position between Welch and Jones. They've been side by side for the better part of 5-6 laps. Meanwhile, out in front, we got a battle for the race lead. McMullen was alongside Bradford yet again here. Might take another crack at it here in turn number 3, and he does. McMullen to the inside, middle of turns 3 and 4. Bradford will have the run out of 4 again, able to close the door on McMullen. Back to the line, lap 64 goes up. Still a half truck between the front two. Meanwhile, back third place, it's Derek Welch winning, still unable to clear the 46. Might have him out of turn 2, but Will Jones going to battle back on the outside. Both drivers just wheeling those trucks, both of them. Rear end stepping out in the middle of turn 2. They both hang on to it, but Welch finally gets clear. Sole possession of third place. Position after an outside front row starting position. Albert Anderson runs 5th. That's where he started this afternoon. 6th place Mark Truxell up 3 spots from 9th. Will Hewitt fast in practice and fast in this race. He's up 8 positions to 7th. Vincent Short down a few in the 8th spot. 9th is Christopher Hockley and A.J. Rogers rounding out your current top 10. Meanwhile, we do have some pit stops taking place as Keenan Kimber, Longworth, and Steptoe are in pit lane. Longworth pulls into his pit stall. So does the 65 of Kimber. Steptoe also in the box. I imagine this can be tires and fuel for all involved yet again. And it does appear that Bobby Hamilton Jr. has been in pit lane here for about 4 minutes. I don't know if he had an issue out on track or whatever the case may be, but he appears to be out of this one. Meanwhile, more pit stops underway. 2nd place Thomas McMullen. Will Jones, Will Hewitt, Chris Klein. So green flag pit stops underway here from Kansas Speedway. When will we see the 13 of Bradford head down? I anticipate he's going to run this as far to the end as he can here. Maybe cross his fingers, catch a caution. Well within the fuel window to make it to the end, even with the green-white checker or two. Bradford maintaining a 1.8 second advantage over second place. That's Derek Welch. And as it stands presently, the top 12 trucks have yet to come to pit lane, still needing to do so. Again, they're all within that window. And here comes David Bradford. Derek Welch is going to follow him down. I anticipate everybody else may do the same. No, not the case. Truxell, Short, Hockley, Rogers, they all stay out. So race leader David Bradford in the pits. Looks like the top 7 stay out on the racetrack. Top 8, that is. So it's going to be a 4-tire change for Bradford. Full load of Sunoco fuel. 4 tires, drops the jack, heads back out in the mix. Spins the tires a bit, slow exit from his pit stall, but he's back out there in action. Meanwhile, Mark Truxell, your new race leader in the meantime. Truxell just running that high line, just an inch or two off the wall out of turn number 2. Short runs second, but it's Rogers, Collins, and Nicholson the top 5. Lap 72 on the board. Truxell, Short, Rogers, Collins, Nicholson, still your top 5. Ingram runs 6th. Everybody else is either in pit lane or completed their green flag stops. These guys up front still need to do that final stop. And it looks like Truxell may be getting ready to do that. Battery's just trying to break the draft from Vincent Short in behind him. But it looks like Mark might be coming down now. Yes, he is. So Mark Truxell rotates Cupcake's Chevy Silverado hard on the brakes, trying to wheel that truck to pit road speed, gets her load down. Final pit stop of the afternoon for the 5. Meanwhile, Vincent Short in the pits as well. That'll give the 57 of A.J. Rogers the race lead. Mark Collins second. Short, while he's in the pits here, still maintains the 3rd spot. So Short, 4 tires and fuel, 15:02. Mark Collins now the new race leader. Rogers runs second. Again, top 3 drivers now. Collins, Rogers, and Ingram still needing to make one final pit stop before they're good to go to the end. They're just waiting for a caution here at this point, but even those that made pit stops back on the lead lap. 10 trucks currently on the lead lap. A lot of that's going to change when these top 3 drivers come down to pit. 75. Collins crosses the stripe. Hockley in the 3 in the 11th spot, getting his lap back. Collins stays out on the racetrack here. 25 to go, coming to 24 to go. He's just gambling here. He's crossing his fingers for a caution. Again, we have yet to have one tonight that wasn't planned. Just that single competition caution back at lap 30. A very clean race to this point. Anticipate Collins may come down and pit this time, though. His last opportunity to do so. He stays out on the racetrack. Oh, contact with Kimber and Short. Almost sends the 65 into the leader, Mark Collins, but everybody gets through it cleanly. 23 laps to go. Top 2 now still needing to pit. Here comes Josh Ingram. Ingram from the second spot, and he spins into pit lane, hits the inside wall, loses the engine here. I don't know if he's going to make it back to his pit stall or not. Tough break for the 56. We cut to him just as he was on the brakes, but the truck was already sideways. He had caught the inside wall. That's going to do it for him. It may be a hindrance to Mark Collins here if he comes in pits. No, Collins stays out yet again. Stretching the fuel significantly for Mark Collins. Collins has gone about 46 laps on this tank of fuel. We thought 43 was the absolute max, but Collins doing a great job saving. Don't think he's going to be able to save enough to make it to the end of this. Again, with 22 to go, there's no way he's got enough for that. Stays out again. Problem is, oh, contact. Wagoner goes around. Crosses back up the racetrack, pounds the outside wall, continues on. Still no caution, is no traffic coming. The 8 gets to the bottom of the track. I don't know if Collins was spinning him on purpose, trying to draw that caution or not. I have to go back and look at it here in a little bit. Take a quick peek. Just a moment ago. Now, Wagoner was coming down. Collins held his line there on the inside. Wagoner came down, clipped the 23. Spun off the nose of Collins, slid up the racetrack. Luckily, no one was coming to collect him, and the caution does not come out. So, Mark Collins stays on the racetrack, but no, here he comes. He's going to pit now here with 20 to go. What a fuel run. Nope. There's the caution. Vincent Short in trouble. Take a look what happened here to the 15 just a moment ago. So Collins getting lucky here. Caution coming out. Now, a lot of drivers were able to get their lap back, but there's still only 13 trucks on the lead lap. The question is, will he be the only one to pit here? Let's quickly take a look what happened here to Vincent Short. The truck doesn't look too bad, but they were 3 wide. Short comes up the track, and there's 2 trucks to his right. The rest is history. The onboard here with the 54. See Vince Short there to the left. Griffith's there with 1 to his right. Nowhere for him to go. Vince keeps coming up. So out of 4, Collins is going to come down. Vince Short is going to come down and pit. So Collins pitting from the race lead. This will give him a tire advantage here, and I think it'll be about 17 laps to go when we get back green flag racing. So Collins will definitely have an advantage. No, everybody else is going to pit too. So Bradford, Jones, Welch, they don't need fuel, but they're going to take tires here. So it kind of puts everybody back on equal footing. So Collins down and away. 4 tires and fuel. Quick stop, 14.72. And he's going to win the race off pit road. So the strategy for the 23 paid off. I don't know how close he was on fuel. I imagine he was right on the fine line of it, because last we had looked, he'd gone 47, 48 laps on a fuel tank that we estimated was a 43 lap maximum. So our first caution of the day for cause. Coming with about 20 laps to go. So we're doubled up here getting ready for the restart. Pace car lights are out. We may go an extra lap here because it seems like there's some confusion trying to get guys lined back in the right spot. Short still low on the racetrack trying to find his home in line, but the front row as it stands will be Collins and Bradford. Behind them it'll be Will Jones and Derek Welch, some seriously heavy hitters here at the front of the field. But I imagine the 23 of Collins is going to make that truck as wide as humanly possible here on this restart. Everybody on equal footing with fresh rubber underneath. No two tire changes that I can see up and down the line. But here we go. The pace car is in.
Green flag.
Collins gets the jump. A few truck lengths now between second and third place. Jones and Bradford, they're side by side, fourth position in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Three wide battle behind, Vincent Short on the bottom. Will Jones takes the second spot further ahead. Collins maintains the race lead, but Jones is right there, pounded on the back door. Jones goes to the inside, middle of 3 and 4, takes the spot easily, gets alongside Collins, slides up the racetrack, gets the spot, just barely misses the wall out of 4. New leader, 15 to go. It's Will Jones. Top 5 with 15, less than 15 to go. It's Jones, Bradford, Welch, Collins, and Hockley. Remember, Jones was fast out of the gate early on tonight. Bradford took a handful of laps to really come into his own, but once he did, he was able to run down Jones, take that position away. But with 14 laps left, is there enough time for that to happen? Bradford's going to have to get some heat into those tires quicker than before, see if he can run him down and take this race win. Battling with Aaron Longworth. Aaron, I don't believe on the lead lap. No, he is. He's battling for the 9th spot. Klein's got it for the time being. Longworth in behind the number 42 Credit One Bank machine. Further up ahead, Mark Truxell running in front of Vincent Short. Short was able to stay. Now he's 1 lap down in the 17th spot. Thomas McMullen up into the 5th position. Thomas had pace later on in the run too. I just don't know if we're going to have enough of a run for it to really come in. It's kind of what we talked about with David Bradford, but Bradford needed less time. It seemed really at the further end of the fuel run, McMullen really came to life. Jones still out in front, now enjoying a 0.6 of a second advantage over David Bradford. Less than 10 laps to go. David's got some work to do. Welch running in the 3rd position behind the 13, about 3-4 truck lengths behind. Welch could certainly play a factor here as well before this one is out. Meanwhile, behind them, Thomas McMullen working his way towards the front. Alongside Mark Collins, this 4th position. continue to watch this battle here for the 4th spot. McMullen trying to get clear of the 23. Hasn't been able to do it just yet. He's there now. Needs to slide up the track, and he does without contact. Collins all over the back bumper. Swaying left, right, left, right. I don't think the 23 lifted one bit there, trying to stay with Thomas McMullen, but to no avail. Meanwhile, the 3 of Hockley closing in from the 6th position. That's just behind the 23. Collins doing all he can to hang on to it for now. Again, 7 laps to go. The race leader still Will Jones. Now 4/10, little under 5/10 of a second advantage over Bradford. David has reeled in about 1/10 of a second here. It's not going to be quite enough. Last lap for Jones, a 31:48 to Bradford's 31:37. David is coming quickly. 5/10 the advantage for Jones and 7 laps to go. Bradford's going to need to run that faster every single lap to get there. This time it was about 1/10.5 faster for David Bradford. Top 3 all in the shot, and Welch gets the wall out of turn number 2, just scrapes the right side a bit, breaks his momentum, but McMullen back and forth, not close enough to take advantage just yet. Leaders back to the stripe, coming to 5 laps to go. Jones leads it, the deficit 3.5 back to Bradford. David is coming quick. He's going to be there before you know it. Can he get there? Sure. Can he pass him when he gets there? We're going to find out. Time will tell with less than 5 to go. They're out of turn number 2. Now it's 2.5. Bradford moving right along, closing in. Jones picked up the pace a little bit the last lap, but still not as fast as David Bradford. He's about 0.07 of a second faster. Bradford was as he gets alongside at the start-finish line with 4 to go, and Bradford takes the top spot. David Bradford to the point with 4 laps to go, makes the move, had a big run out of turn 4, makes the pass at the start-finish line. Jones trying to battle back by working the low lane on the racetrack, but not quite enough to get alongside Bradford. Now 3 laps remain as they're back to start finish. Top 3 in the shot still. Now it's Bradford, Jones, and Welch. Welch enjoying quite the margin over Thomas McMullen. It's a 2.5 seconds back to the 0-2, at least for the time being. But will Derek Welch play a part in this second place battle? Welch slides up the racetrack out of turn number 2, about a truck length and a half off the back bumper of the 46. We've seen it time and time again, though. Will Jones, so difficult to pass, even if he's in a little bit slower equipment at the time. Whether it's tires or setup or otherwise, it's still no small task to get by Will Jones. Lap and a half to go. Bradford still leads. Jones second, Welch third. There it is, final lap, white flag waves. Bradford across the stripe, one more circuit around for the number 13 machine. Bradford with a 4/10 plus advantage over second place. Will Jones trying to hold on to the second spot. Derek Welch is right there, but into 3 and 4 for the final time. David Bradford from the pole position. Out of turn number 4, looking for another race win. Hammer down to the start-finish line. Checkered flag waves. David Bradford wins it at Kansas. Short little loop-de-loop for Bradford as he parks it at start-finish. See if David does any more of them donuts here. Might just be one and done. So parks it here on the start-finish line for photos. Looks like that's going to do it here. We're going to step aside here, get a short break out of the way. We'll be back with our top three finishers, David Bradford, Will Jones, and Derek Welch after this. Stay with us.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Trish on the bottom. Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging. And to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Back at Kansas Speedway, race number 5 in the books of the ProSim Racing Alliance. David Bradford taking the checkered flag yet again here from pole position. We're going to get a word here with the driver of the number 13 machine, David Bradford, the race winner. David, it's Steve in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, buddy.
David, congratulations, man. Pole position, then the race win, but it wasn't as simple as just that. Early on in this race, the first, I'd say 10, 12 laps, it seemed like you didn't quite have what it took underneath you in that truck. What was the issue there? Was it just a matter of getting the tires up to temp?
Yeah, I think so, man. That initial start, it was real free on the bottom when I was trying to paint the white there just to get up to speed, and Will just took off right around me, and he decided to go pretty quick, pretty early, so he ended up burning his stuff up. That's how I ran him down. But it was great racing with me in the 99 there for a little bit. I really like racing that guy. He's a clean driver, gives you space, but races you hard too. So I enjoyed that first part of the race there.
We've watched Albert Anderson in various leagues, and Dumb Thumbs Racing in the Vigilante Racing League as well. He's certainly a contender over there, but good to see him out here with you guys as well. But again, strong run here tonight for you. Yet another win here on the season. What was the key to success here tonight? Obviously, you had the pace. Was it just a matter of managing the tires?
I don't know, man. It was a weird night. There were some guys that could run the bottom. I couldn't get down there and run the bottom. Derek and Thomas had the bottom figured out. I couldn't get down there, and I don't think Will could either. Anytime we tried to run the bottom, it would just burn up the right front. And those guys were just making so much speed down there, especially on the long run. I think they needed the whole racetrack to do it, but Derek and Thomas were smart enough to figure it out. And Thomas was giving me heck there right before that pit stop. He was coming, and I don't know really I was saving any tires that last run. I mean, I was saving just a little bit. Will went just a little bit harder than I did, but I didn't think I was going to run him down. And then he got in the wall, and that gave him my chance. So sucks for him, man. Like he ain't been able to run much. I think a win would have done him good tonight, but that's how the ball rolls so far. It seems to be feast or famine for me this season. I either win a stage, get a pole, and get a win, or I just kind of struggle anywhere from 4th to 9th place, it seems like.
Well, a race win for you tonight, certainly the best way to finish off a race. A second place for Will Jones. Unfortunately, we won't get a chance to talk to him tonight, but we got Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. Not sure, are we on the old Atlanta or the Super Speedway version next week?
Nope, it's the old one. It's the actual fun version, not the pack racing.
The tire eater. Got it. So with that said, we know you're decent at saving tires. There's a handful of you guys out there that really excel at it. Who's your pick next week to win that race? Is it yourself or somebody else in the field?
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick Derek. Derek's just been real strong these past couple weeks, and he's real good at working the bottom. Atlanta's good for that. I'm going to pick Derek for next week, I think.
Well, very good. David, congratulations. Strong win here at Kansas. Who do you want to shout out to before I let you go?
Of course, got to thank my teammate Will. He stuck in there with me all night. We talked a lot of strategy all night when the pit, during those last breaks and all that stuff. Definitely thank my uncle and my dad. They're watching every week. Now that you got the new logo up, it probably took them a minute to find it, but man, the new logo is awesome, and hopefully you get what you want out of it.
All right, Dave. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week at Atlanta.
Thanks, Steve.
It's David Bradford, your race winner here at Kansas Speedway again. Will Jones, your second place finisher, unfortunately had to run quickly as soon as this one was over, so we will not get to hear from Will Jones, the driver of that number 46, but we'll get a chance to talk to him at some point this season. He'll park that thing in victory lane at some point. I'm pretty sure of that. But with that, we're going to talk to third place Derek Welch, the driver of the number 1 Davidson Builders Toyota Tundra TRD Pro, up to the broadcast booth. Derek, it's Steve with Track Limits. You got us?
What's up, bro?
Derek, congratulations, man. A third-place finish here in the ProSim Racing Alliance at Kansas Speedway. You got some high praise there from race winner David Bradford that you're figuring this thing out. And in fact, he's actually predicting you to win the race next week at Atlanta, the old Atlanta. Before we get into that, though, let's talk about your race here tonight. A third-place start, third-place finish. Green to checkered, man. You ran well, but walk us through it.
Steve, I'm just glad I actually finished the race for the first time in ever since I won that Watkins win. It's been hell, but I felt like the bottom was the way to go for me. I was saving tire, and on the long runs, I was running Bradford down. I mean, not by much, but I was running them down, and that caution, that only caution came out, kind of screwed the pooch for me. I'm not very good at short runs, full out. I hate that type of racing. I like the long racing, but I needed no caution, no flies, so I could run Bradford down. But third place, hey, I'll take it.
Certainly a top 3 finish is always a positive at any of these races. If you get a chance to be on the broadcast after the race, that's always a good thing. But again, we look forward to Atlanta Motor Speedway, the old Atlanta, the tire shredder. Next week is our race 6 of the ProSim Racing Alliance. And again, David Bradford's kind of pointing the finger at you as to be the one to watch next week. How do you feel about your chances to actually pick up a win at Atlanta next week in these trucks?
Well, since he said that, I'm probably going to get wrecked on that one. I love Atlanta. Is it Old Atlanta?
Yep.
Or New Atlanta?
Old Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah, I love Old Atlanta. I've always been good there. One of my favorite tracks. So I don't know if I'm gonna get the win. There's a few fast. I mean, there's a lot of fast guys in here. I know Vince is pretty fast at Atlanta. I've raced him at Atlanta plenty of times. So Vince is always fast there. So and Bradford's fast as well. So hopefully I'll do well. I'm not gonna say I get the win, but hopefully I get a top 5 at least.
Well, we certainly look forward to it, Derek. Congratulations again, a third-place finish here at Kansas. Who do you want to shout out to before I let you go?
My teammates, None Thumbs Racing, Albert Anderson, Chris Klein, Mark Collins, David Bradford, running a league, great league, fun league, and to you, Steve, for a great broadcast, and can't wait to get the NTRL started up and see how that goes.
Looking forward to it as well, Derek. Again, thanks for chatting with us. Good luck next week, and we'll talk to you again soon, I'm sure.
All right, bro. Take it easy.
See you, Derek. It's Derek Welch, your third-place finisher here from Kansas Speedway. Let's take a look here at our official race results. There we go. Took a minute, but we got it there. All right, so we talked to our top 3, David Bradford, Will Jones, Derek Welch, the top 3. Thomas McMullen, strong run for the O2, finishes 4th. Mark Collins was 5th. Mark Truxell 6th. Chris Hockley was 7th. Chris Klein finishes 8th. Albert Anderson, strong early on as well, still finishes in the top 10 and 9th. Aaron Longworth, a quiet run up into the top 10. He finishes 10th. Jason Steptoe, 11th. Steve Whitmore was 7th. Frank Griffith was 13th. 14th place finisher was A.J. Rogers. Matt Nicholson was 15th. Keenan Kimber, 16th. Vincent Short, after an issue, finishes 17th, 1 lap down. Peyton Wagoner, 18th. Eddie Rose, 19th. 20th was Josh Ingram. 21st finisher Jacob Moore. 22nd went to Will Hewitt. Fastest in practice. Something happened with the 33 at some point this evening. He finishes 34 laps down. 23rd was Bobby Hamilton Jr., also with an issue. He was 42 laps down. Alan DeFries, 24th, 90 laps down. One of the first drivers involved in an incident here tonight, and we did not get a caution for it. It's a tough break for the 71 yet again. But those are your race results here from Kansas Speedway. Again, congratulations to David Bradford picking up another win here tonight. We look forward to Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. And I got to mention to you guys all in the broadcast watching tonight, if you haven't already done so, click the thumbs up. That like button does so much for us, not just here at the channel, but also the league itself. Gets fresh eyeballs on everything, kind of pushes the stream out to wider audiences, some people that might not necessarily know about us yet. It's a positive across the board. So just hit that like button, help us out. And if you haven't already subscribed, that's the key. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. If you've already hit it, don't hit it again. Keep seeing people subscribe and then unsubscribe. It's not a good thing. So just double check that. We do appreciate it. We're trying to get to 1,000 followers / subscribers here in the first quarter of 2025. I mean, really at any point this year would be great, but the sooner the better. That's going to wrap it up for us. Again, thank you guys all for tuning in. Race 5, the ProSim Racing Alliance in the books, won by David Bradford. We'll see you guys next week. Race number 6 out at Atlanta. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.